Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be looking at some more news from AtGames, including the release of a long-awaited Zen Pinball Pack and a brand new program from them that could save you a little bit of money if you've been waiting to purchase one of their 4KP pinball machines. That's all coming up right after this. Alright everyone, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So let's start out and talk about the latest Zen Pinball Pack released for the 4KP pinball machines. So that's right, AtGames have finally released the Godzilla vs. Kong Pinball Pack from Zen. Now, this pinball pack was supposed to come out a couple of months ago. It wound up getting delayed. We never really found out what the delay was for, just basically that it needed to cook a little bit longer before they were ready to release it. At the beginning of July, when their calendar came out, they did have this on the schedule for the very end of the month. And here we are. So you can now purchase the Godzilla vs. Kong Pinball Pack for $15. Again, at $15 with 3 tables, I think that's a pretty decent deal. You get the Godzilla themed table, the Kong themed table, and then, of course, the Godzilla vs. Kong themed table. Now, in my personal opinion, I do think the Godzilla vs. Kong Pinball Pack is a lot of fun. I've played it, Pinball Effects on Steam. I do like the tables. How well they're going to play on the AtGames system is something that remains to be seen. As a lot of you know, when it comes to the Zen Studio pinball tables, there are varying degrees of flipper lag involved. Some tables play better than others. How these play, I don't know, but what I would suggest, as always, is to go ahead and check out gameplay, check out reviews from other content creators who tend to buy these every time they come out and are more than happy to show off gameplay, to show off how good or how bad the flipper lag might be on it. So if that's a concern of yours, be sure that you check that out before you pony up your $15. I do think $15 for a pinball pack with 3 tables on it is a decent deal. I do like it better this way as opposed to when it's $15 for 1 table, which happens quite a bit. Again, how that pricing works, I don't know, but it is what it is. $15 for 3 tables, pretty good deal, but be sure that you check out, how good or how bad they play before you make a final decision. All right, so moving beyond that, let's talk about the really big news from AtGames, and that is the launch of their new starter program that might save you a little bit of money if you've been holding off on purchasing one of their 4K pinball machines. So that's right, AtGames have announced their new Premium Starter and Legends Factory Direct program. Now let's jump in and find out what this is all about. So I'll start out talking about their Legends Pinball Premium Starter machines. The whole purpose of this is designed to get 4KP pinball machines into people's hands for a lower price by basically giving you a somewhat bare bones machine and making a lot of the additional features that would normally come with it a la carte. So to start off, AtGames is going to offer the Addams Family and Attack from Mars themed pinball machines as premium starter packages. Now the point here is to offer these at a lower price by removing some things like the topper, additional features, additional tables, things like that to bring the table down and then make those other features, like I said, a la carte add-ons that you can purchase at a later time to add to your machine. So checking out the difference between the standard version and the starter version, obviously one of the biggest differences here is the price, with the standard version being $14.99 and the starter $12.49, so a $250 difference right off the bat. Now beyond that, obviously the starter version is going to come with a few lesser features than the standard. They're both going to come with build plates. They're both going to come with, the same art on the machines. Interestingly enough, while the standard says custom designed speaker grills and the starter doesn't, the renders do show those custom speaker grills on there. So I'm not sure if those are actually included in the starter or not. We'll have to get more clarification from AtGames on them. With the standard, you're going to get the topper. You're going to get things like OTG and external applications enabled. You're going to get additional pinball tables on top of the main one. So, for instance, with the Addams Family and Attack from Mars, these starter versions are only going to come with those tables. It's only going to have the Addams Family table on it. Attack from Mars is only going to have the Attack from Mars table on it. If you want to buy if you want to have the additional pinball tables that came with the standard one, you're going to have to purchase those packs separately. Both are going to come with 2 months free Pinball Net subscriptions. And also the standard, you have the option to add the SSF kit pre-installed. With the starter, you could buy the SSF kit to add on later, but you're not going to get the option to have it pre-installed. Now, interestingly enough, one thing that the starter has that the standard doesn't is they've added art to the control panel on the front of the machine. With the standard, it's just got the Legends Pinball logo on it and your, 4-way directional pad on it. With the starter, it's actually got some themed artwork to it. So in terms of the things that are missing from the starter version that you can purchase later on, of course, first up is the themed topper. Now, both Addams Family and Attack from Mars come with a special themed light-up topper that you can put on top of the back box. They're really cool. They do add a sense of aesthetic to the table, but they don't actually add anything to the playability of the table. It's not like they flash or light up special, when you're playing or anything like that. You can just control whether they're on or off, but they do look pretty cool. So you could choose to add those at a later time for $150. Now, the one that's kind of got me a little bit confused here is the ability to enable OTG and external applications on the starter. Those are actually going to be turned off if you purchase the starter, and in order to turn them on, you're going to have to pay $100 for each. $100 if you want OTG, and $100 if you want external applications, I guess like AppX, CoinOpX, things like that. You're going to have to pay $100. Now, I assume that's turned off in software. Whether or not that means it actually disables the ports, or whether it just turns the feature off where you can't get to it on the menu, that I don't know. But it is kind of odd that they're doing this, I guess, in the effort to save people money. But to put them at $100 each, well, you know what? I'll save my final thoughts for the end. Let's just move on and talk about other things like the pinball packs. As I said, each table is just going to come with its single themed pinball pack. Attack from Mars, the Attack from Mars table. Addams Family, the Addams Family table. That's it. One table each. If you want additional pinball packs, you pay for them just like you would any other pinball packs that you want to add to your machine. The standard comes with 15 extra tables. These are not. You're going to have to pay extra for those. Of course, the Pinball Net subscription has always been extra. The arcade control panel, the SSF kit, those have always been extras anyway. Again, one of the differences with the starter is you can't choose the option to have the SSF kit pre-installed. You're going to have to buy it separate if you want to have and add it on yourself later on. Now, along with these new starter machines, AtGames is also rolling out a new program that they call Legends Factory Direct. Now, basically what this means is that when you order using Legends Factory Direct, instead of your machine being shipped from their US warehouse, which typically takes about a week, maybe a little less, it's going to come directly from their warehouse in China, which could take a lot longer. So one of the big trade-offs here is that instead of getting it, like I said, in about a week, it could take up to 3 to 4 weeks to get this by using this Factory Direct program. Now, why would anybody do that? Well, because you're going to get some extra money off on your purchase. If you buy your starter machine between now and the end of this year, the end of 2024, you're going to save an additional $150. If you wait till 2025, you'll save an additional $100. Now, what they're not saying here is how much that shipping is going to be. So if we assume for the time being that shipping is the same $100 cost that it's always been for these machines, if you buy them, from their US warehouse, then basically it's free shipping. If you buy it before the end of the year, you're not only going to get free shipping, you're going to save an additional $50. So instead of being $1,250, the machine will be $1,200. If you wait till next year, you're basically getting free shipping on it. Now, again, that's assuming that the shipping cost is the same $100. If the shipping cost goes up because you're ordering it directly from China, then I don't know the value of this program. Like, let's say it was $200 to ship from China instead of $100 from US. You're basically right back down to the $100 shipping that you would have been ordering it directly. Why wait 3 to 4 weeks when you can get it in a week for the same price? So I got to make the assumption here that the shipping is going to be about the same cost, and the whole point here is to save you money, to basically give you free shipping here. But the trade-off is you're going to have to wait several weeks before you can get it. Again, we're going to have to wait until we get some full clarification from AtGames. I'm assuming we'll know more once this program officially rolls out. And speaking of that, AtGames have also let us know when that's going to be, and it looks like the program officially kicks off in just about a week on August 8th. It looks like they're going to be doing things in different waves again, like they've done in the past, starting with the Addams Family going in August. There'll be 3 waves of it through August. And then Attack from Mars in September. Again, 3 waves in September. So there you go. That is a look at AtGames' new Starter Machine program and their Legends Factory Direct program. Now, a couple of thoughts on this. First off, I think in general, having an a la carte option for their pinball machines is not a bad idea. By saving people money on things that they might not care about, like the topper or add-on programs, or being able to pick the pinball tables that they want, pay for them separate, as opposed to having 15 different tables forced upon them, I think is not a bad idea in general. Now, I will say this: if you go with this route and you eventually want to add everything that comes with the standard version, you're going to wind up paying a lot more for it in the long run. Now, again, you're going to save $250 off the bat by buying this at $1,250 instead of $1,500. If you go with their factory direct, you're going to save an additional bit. Like I said, probably the shipping cost on it. So it is a pretty decent savings there. But then if you want to add the topper, OTG, advanced features, all the pinball machines, it's going to put you well above that $1,500 purchase price. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. The only nice thing about it is you can kind of spread the cost out by doing it this way. Not only that, but I have to assume that some of these extra features will also go on sale at some point, possibly during some of their National Owners Day. I can easily see them knocking the price down on some of these. So instead of being $150 for that topper, maybe they knock it down to $125, $130, somewhere in that range. Maybe instead of the OTG and advanced features being $100 each, maybe they knock them down to $80 a piece, or maybe they bundle them, and for $150 or something, you can get both. So I can definitely, and obviously the pinball packs always go on sale, even though they've unfortunately recently raised the price from $25 to $35. You still can get them on sale at a later time. So if you wait for sales to come, you'll save a little bit of extra money by buying those additional things that you want to add later on. Again, I still think it's going to wind up costing you more in the long run, but it is a way to spread out the cost and, you know, just get yourself a pinball machine on, well, cheaper. I'll put it that way, cheaper, and then maybe pay for things later on. Now, the one thing that I really do kind of disagree with on this program is that OTG and advanced feature thing, especially being $100 each. That seems like a lot to turn on a feature that's built into the machine. You know, if they were going to do that, first of all, I wish it had just been $100 to turn both on. $100 a piece seems like a lot to me. And I know a lot of people do buy these for the OTG feature. I know a lot do buy these for the advanced features. I know people are working on getting VPX to run natively on the 4K machines through that external feature option. And I know a lot of people are really excited and interested for that. So to have to pay $100 each to turn that on, I mean, right there, even if you forego the topper, $13.54, you're almost right back up to the regular price anyway if you do that right away on these. So again, it's a little bit of a trade-off. So like if I were going to ding them for anything on this, that would be the biggest thing that I'm going to ding them on, is having to enable those features on this and making them $100 a piece. I think it would be an easier pill to swallow had it been $100 for both, or $50 a piece or something like that. But again, it's their model, so you know it's up to them how they want to do this. It's just my personal opinion on this. Overall, I don't think it's an awful option here for people who want to get one, want to save a little bit of money on them. Now, will the starter machines go on sale like they've been doing with the standard ones? Maybe. They knocked the standard ones down $100 from $14.99 to $13.99. Again, if you wait for that and then you assume, you know, these extra features, it makes the starter look even less appealing. I do have to say that. So who knows? Maybe they'll knock $100 off and bring this down to $11.50 on sale at some point. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But you know, I just wanted to bring this program out to you now so you can see it. They just announced this last night. You know, they made the announcement somewhere around 9 o'clock Eastern time last night. So I wanted to bring this out to some of you who hadn't seen it yet. But of course, leave me your comments below. First off, for those of you who own the 4K pinball machines, are you excited that Godzilla vs. Kong finally came out? I know, again, people have been waiting on this one. People were excited to get their hands on this one. So if you picked it up, what's your experience been with it? And then, of course, this new starter program, this new Legends Factory Direct program, for those of you who haven't purchased one yet, is this something you would consider in order to get one? Or are you looking at this and saying, basically, they're out of their minds, you're not saving anything, there's no point to it? Again, your opinions are all valid on something like this, so please let me know your thoughts below, all right? But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead, give me that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. And, of course, keep those comments coming. That's all for now. I will see you guys on the next one. It's still summer. Still hot out. Stay inside, play your games, and have fun. That's all for now. Take care.